Ivan Tukolo, Scotland's most capped wing now. Derek White, their most capped number 8. And he and David Sole, captain for a record 22nd time, play their last international at Murrayfield. A touch of musical chairs in the French back division. Lafont to the wing, Saint-André from centre to wing for the injured VR. Sadourny, an original choice at full-back for the first time. Vast attack potential among those backs. Philippe Zeller, captain for the third time. And the only newcomer is Jean-Pierre Genet in a completed new front row. So Frankryk is ready to get the game started. And it's Scotland going to kick off. The rain still falling quite heavily. Craig Chalmers lofts it very high. And Van Heerden went in front. And immediately Scotland penalised. It may have been David McIver for playing a man who didn't have the ball, and Frankryk clearly calling number 6, and so the first penalty to France. There's Alain Penaud, who's the new young French standoff half, 22 years old, his third international. Shortened line for Scotland from Edwards. Bit of pulling on a jersey there. The referee insisting on the front rows waiting, not engaging till the ball is available. Now, we'll notice on this side, Philippe Gallard immediately tried to take David Sole down by pulling on his left shoulder. Held it up a bit better that time. The pick up and drive by Van Heerden, trying to get it to Tordo. Galtier. The left-footed kick across the breaking forward. There's trouble here for the Scots as Cecilien got up there. Rob Wainwright managed to get a hand to it. That's the Scottish goal line. Trouble for the Scots right away. So that left-footed kick over the breaking forward by Galtier, the scrum half, is a typical French ploy. Ireland use it as well. And the Scots now know how dangerous it can be. Andrew Nicol got it away well to Craig Chalmers. Craig Chalmers was unlucky a bit. He had to go to his left and put himself on his left foot simply because of the way, the angle that the Predators came at him. And there is the new French hooker Jean-Pierre Genet of the Racing Club, based in Paris. 4 of them in this side. And 1 new cap in the field. High lob ball, loud blast. Obstruction there, a bit of elbowing in that line out. Bruma, the man who was penalised. Gavin Hastings. So, John, the conditions a bit against good rugby.
Yes, both teams are looking to play open, attractive rugby today, Bill, so the conditions are going to determine that, unfortunately.
Genet with the throw. France have cut to 5. Caban got fingers to it, taken by Armari. Gallard laid it back. Galtier, Penaud. Penaud, a sneaky runner. On there to Caban. Caban, this great flank forward of theirs. Salah has it now. And you can see the difficulty the players are having already. That ball rather slippery already, and the top of the pitch as well. But of course they've got to adapt to that. Referee Frankryk bringing the front rows a bit closer together, but again not allowing them to engage until the ball was available. Pick up by White, out to Nicol. Nicol to Gavin Hastings. That's found a lot of space behind Sadourny. Sadourny back almost to his own goal line. And he's put it dead. It'll be Scotland's ball. What a lovely kick that was by Gavin Hastings. And that's a favourite ploy, John.
Yes, it's reminiscent of 1986 or 88 when Gavin did something similar. Berbissi was a scrum half, but he scored off it. But a great attacking position for Scotland from here, Bill.
Andrew Gavin Hastings, 39th international today. Scotland with the throw to this, well, that's the French goal line they're on. Ken Milne making sure that everybody heard the signal taken by Edwards at the front. They're going to drive over. It's a try. I don't know whether big Neil Edwards held on to it, but the forwards drove, and it was a superb effort. And it is indeed Edwards there. What a wonderful moment for the big fellow, the big Anglo-Scot, the 27-year-old, his first international try in his third international, and it was beautifully made by the forwards. It was a perfect throw by Ken Milne. What a jump by Edwards. But look at the drive by the other forwards. What a wedge they created. He made it all right. Great positioning by the referee. 4 points to 0, 5 minutes gone. And Gavin Hastings there, who, well, the French will remember him, won't they? Because in his very first international against them here in 1986, he kicked 6 penalty goals for a Scottish victory by 18 points to 17. And he's been banging them over against France ever since. He may get a bit of help from the breeze here. It hits the stand and comes back. Gavin Hastings then. Certainly got it high enough. Hanging up. Doesn't make it. 4-0.
Just the absolute start Scotland wanted. Neil Edwards was working very hard in his line-out throwing with Kenny Milne, and to catch it in these terrible conditions was tremendous. He's driven over by the rest of the forwards. An excellent start for Scotland.
Pinot with his strong left foot. And it's quite a useful one, bouncing there. And so Scotland will have to drop out. But what a cracking start for the Scots to fight back from a position on their own goal line and get a try was something. Scotland, of course, in their alternative strip for this match. Their navy blue would clash with the French. Craig Chalmers, little chip kick taken by Van Heerden. On there to the hooker, Genet. Genet tackled by Soule, and indeed by David McIver. David Soule has recovered, and the Scots again with a magnificent wedge drive. Tordo, number 6, he's the one with the thatched cottage on his head. A very fiery customer. They reckon he's got a short fuse, but he'll have to make it longer today after what happened in Paris 3 weeks ago. Scotland right in front of their own post, as close as that. And David Soule already having a bit of a battle with Gallard. Gallard is 18 stone 1. He's the heaviest of the French forwards. Brought back into the side for his 5th international. That's in number 3 there. Massive fellow. Yes, the French trying to steal a yard or two and also trying to steal the first shot. But Frankryk is ready for them. Ken Milne did well. He didn't quite strike it first time, but he did well. Charge down of Gavin Hastings' kick. Tony Stanger has to get across to save it. But that shows you how quickly the French are in getting up across the gain line. French defence very quick there indeed. Pinot, the standoff is exceptionally fast. Remember how he charged down a kick by Will Carling for a try against England. That's Scotland's goal line. Doddy Weir couldn't hold it. A bit of saving again by Neil Edwards, the big lad from the Harlequins. That's him with the headband on the left-hand side of the lock positions. There's danger here for the Scots as Van Heerden holds. He managed to control it. It almost got away from him. He's got to watch his binding. Van Heerden picks up, but a good bit of work by Wainwright. Wainwright got in between Van Heerden and his support, and that was what saved Scotland there. Almost like Jay Jeffrey at his best.
No, better than that, Bill. That's 2 pressure situations on the line Scotland has saved. A line out on a scrum. And that'll give them just about as much heart to score and a try at the other end.
Gavin Hastings there, who's just been appointed captain of the Barbarian 7 squad for Hong Kong 7. That'll be a rich experience for him. Scotland's 22. France favouring a 5-man line again. It means they have a flanker and a prop forward out amongst the backs. One to do one job and the other to do another. Lovely jump by Caban. He really is an exceptional flank forward. Galtier. This is Penaud, the stand-up half. Hounded all the way by Derek White and by Ken Milne. One from the front of the lineup, one from the back. And Alain Penaud there of the Brive club in his third international had to look slippy. Scotland's 22. Ken Milne's throw. Gathered in by David Soule. Great bit of play by the Scottish captain. The pick-up by White. Craig Chalmers. And the Scottish backs know that they really have to look slippy with those clearance kicks. Because the French not only have two very fast flank forwards, but as I've mentioned, their standoff is desperately quick as well. Midway between Scotland's 22 and halfway. That's it, with about 10 minutes gone. Van Heerden got hands to it. Galtier, Penaud. That's Menel. Used to play standoff. Gavin Hastings underneath it. Superb catch. Didn't get the mark though. The pick-up by Galtier. Galtier inside to Van Heerden. But the slippery ball causing trouble. And so Scotland's defence being stretched in various ways, but so far sticking to it and succeeding. Gavin Hastings in here, it was a very good catch. Referee may have decided he wasn't stationary or that both feet weren't on the ground at that moment. Loud blast, penalty France, holding down on a shoulder. So Frankryk there, who's doing his fourth test match. He's done something like 140 provincial games. And Doddy Weir was the man penalised for holding down his opposite number. And here, Jean-Baptiste Lafont. This is the joker of the party as well. He likes a bit of fun, this one. Bit of a Corinthian in his attitude to rugby football. But he has scored 90 points for France. And of those, 13 have been tries. It's well within his range. He is a left-footed kicker, so this is the good side for him. You probably find he has to hit it a bit more towards the right upright because the southwesterly comes in from the right-hand side. Jean-Baptiste Lafont to cut the deficit. Stroked it pretty well, but it's just got inside. It looked as if it had missed. But it's 4 points to 3 for Scotland. They played 12 minutes of the first half. Good strike by Lafont.
Penalty at the line out there, Bill. There seemed a bit of barging from both players. I think the referee was just trying to put his ruling on the line out so he can decide, control the thing.
Chalmers restarts a bit far. Taken by Ruma. Fabien Galtier gets the kick away. He also is left-footed and it's quite useful up to the 10 metres line. At Fabien Galtier, number 9, who took over the captaincy against England when Philippe Sella was carried off. Galtier also just 22. That's Olivier Ruma, the 6'6" lock forward, brought back into the side as an original. Doddy Weir got hands to it. Caban was almost there. David Soule has it on halfway. Turned well and cleverly. Chalmers from Nicol. That's not a Chalmers kick, but the whistle had gone. There was a knock-on, no advantage. Scrummage. Craig Chalmers, you'd be fuffing about that kick because it wasn't really the one he meant. Yes, Frankryk are having a little bit of a problem with the front rows. The French trying to pinch a metre or so. You can hear him saying, get back, get back. Well, Scotland managed to channel that again. It was a bad strike. They're having a bit of trouble in that front row. Gavin Hastings, though, and that's a good one. Over the head of Saint-André. Back there to Sadourny. And Sadourny gets his kick in. Good bit of work by him. He's had 3 Test matches so far, each one as a replacement. This is first original choice as a fullback, Jean-Luc Sadourny. French 10 metres line. Scotland with an orthodox lineup. Long throw to White at the tail. Scots have secured it. Wainwright standing off. Ken Milne did the dummy. Very good tackle by Genet there. Ken Milne down again. France have won a good ball. There's a lovely long left footer there by Pinot. So this is Alan Pinot, who plays for Brive, made a tremendous debut against Wales with a drop goal. And of course he also scored that charge down try against England. So he's made a scoring start to his international career. The French, as always, proving great scavengers and predators round the edges. Ken Milne, 19th international today. Last penalty to Scotland. It's Ken Milne, one of the three Milne brothers, all of them capped. Played twice with his brother Ian in internationals. Gavin Hastings, very secure. Gavin Hastings, who's now scored 375 points for Scotland, their top point scorer in internationals. Paul Burnell of London Scottish, played in 24 of the last 26 internationals. That's halfway. Galtier, Pinot, again that's a poor one, not enough distance on it. Good effort there by Ruma to reach up his full 6'6". Now they'll try and roll it away. This is Stordo who feeds it out. Yes, a long leg to Pinot. Oh, this is Saint-André. What a superb tackle there by Andrew Nicol. Saint-André, the left wing, appearing at right centre, but here they get a chance again from Lafont to Sella. Sella gets it back. Sella caught by Tony Stanger near halfway. Good covering by the Scots here and two very good tackles. The little chip kick through, and Gavin Hastings, a huge soccer thump with it up into the French 22. Back there goes Jean-Baptiste Lafont, and he went onto his weaker foot, the right foot. And so Scotland got away with that with two very good tackles indeed. And Gavin Hastings making the bits and pieces up as he went along there with that great whack downfield. It was a superb tackle by Andrew Nicol, because Saint-André is so very quick. Copybook stuff, legs taken away, down he comes. Craig Chalmers, that's a better Gary Owen. Lafond is underneath it in front of his own post. He was a bit fortunate, the wind took it towards him. It's out to Galtier, and Galtier with a good clearance. Gavin Hastings is away up there, bird alone. There's not a man within half a mile of him. He's inside his own 22. He's sliced it. The Scots will have to get 10 metres away, but it has been played now. They can attack. Galtier long. Ivan Tukalo inside his own 22. The educated left foot of Ivan Tukalo, who today, of course, becomes Scotland's most capped wing of all time with his 34th appearance, beating the mark of the great Arthur Smith. They're 10 metres outside Scotland's 22. Neil Edwards at number 2 there. David Soule at the front. Paul Burnell at number 3. Doddy Weir got shunted out of the road by Ruma. And the referee's very tight on his line-out play, I must say. A tap to Soule from Nicol. Great drive by Derek White, who's looked so fit and fast this season. Sella was caught down there on the wrong side, and it's as well maybe that the referee's whistle has gone, although I think Sella has got a knock. But Derek White there, who's looked as quick and as fit as ever in his career, and he's 34 now. playing as well as ever. Here he goes again, out to Nicol. Gavin Hastings once more. And again, he's put in a very good kick under pressure. The thing is that he bounced it into touch and the pressure was right on him. Gavin Hastings means so much to the Scottish team, John.
Yes, he's so strong and powerful, and especially in these wet conditions. So if he can stay on his feet, I think Scotland are trying to play the game, keeping the ball behind France where it's slippery and let them make the mistakes.
Meters outside the French 22. Armery trying to take it away, but you can see all the players having a little bit of difficulty with a ball that is now a bit slippery. The rain isn't quite so heavy. In fact, it may have gone off almost, but the damage has been done to some extent. They're 5 or 6 meters outside the French 22. Nicol again getting a foot to it. So there's Andrew Nicol, who's having a great series after being brought into the Scottish side for the England match. You remember when Gary Armstrong was injured? Nicol, the 5th member of the Dundee High School FB club to play for Scotland, as indeed did his grandfather, George Ritchie, way back in '32. Well, there we are. Scotland actually have the heavier pack, but out there on a slippery surface, it's all about grip and technique and application. And, of course, cohesiveness. France always have a very powerful front row. And a front row, usually, who know all the wrinkles, and a bit more sometimes. And there is trouble here. Gala is causing David Soul a bit of a problem, because, I say, he's such a big, heavy fellow. Plays for the Béziers club, and they've produced some tremendous forwards over the years. Free kick for delay, I think. If it was for delay, yes, a bit delay, but I think that was a little bit harsh, because the way, actually, the tunnel was blocked by an elbow. Anyway, along the line there to Menel. Menel, immensely powerful. Good tackle there by Edwards. Just short of the halfway line in the French territory. Galtier, Pinot in real trouble. Caught there by Rob Wainwright. Referee playing advantage. Torto on the wrong side, and Kenny Milne decides to let him know that. But it was the knock-on, Scotland's put in. And so, a lot of mistakes in the French back division. No doubt the conditions are partly responsible, but remember also that a lot of new faces in this French side, and a lot of them new to Murrayfield. Nicol goes inside to White, trying to link up with Wainwright. Back from Weir to his Melrose clubmate Craig Chalmers. Craig Chalmers there, nice little touch, little friendly touch between the two standoff halves. That's good to see. And the French 10 meters line. Oh, amazing to see Pinot go all the way back into his own 22 for that. He might not be allowed to do that in a year's time when the International Board decide on new proposals to the laws. Alain Pinot, you'll notice, another youngster, just 22. But you see how heavy he is for a standoff half. Very impressive, because he's quick as well. Scotland catching well at the front of the line out, and that was another good wedge. Nicol, Chalmers, half through, looked for the flank forwards. Nicol once again, out to Lenin. Scott Hastings, well there again you see, they're all having trouble with the ball. Jean-Baptiste Lafont, chased. My goodness, he was chased there by Tucolo, but the big fella had so much pace, and that's a very clever kick indeed. He is a wonderful footballer, Jean-Baptiste Lafont of the Racing Club in Paris. You could see the big French support really enjoyed that. The only member of this French side who has a Melrose Sevens medal, there you are. Played for the French Barbarians in '83. 30th cap today. Closes that to the Scottish goal line. Bruma went for it, but Caban got his hands to it first. Doddy Weir got through the line out. That saved Scotland again. Doddy Weir getting through. and snaffling a ball that really had come back on the French side. The big farmer from the Melrose Club saved Scotland on that occasion. And Jean-Pierre Genet, the French hooker, you notice throwing the ball to one of the ball boys to get him to dry it for him on his jersey. Should be a little fee for that, I should have thought. Galtier. That's Frank Menel. Gavin Hastings comes in. Path obstructed. Frenchman falling over the ball in considerable numbers. Penaud, the stand-up half. He's got support outside. Penaud, Nicol is back there. And I think he called for the mark and got it. A brave bit of work by the youngster. He gets the key to the door on Thursday. He'll be 21 then. That was a good way to celebrate. It was a superb bit of work by him. Gavin Hastings, path obstructed. And then, as you'll see here, the French stand-off half getting himself round on the narrow side. It'll kick through into the 22. Tordo caught again by Sol. The French beginning to get into the game, putting real pressure on the Scots here. The French turtle shield, they're driving, rolling maul. Notice how they hint at going one way, then they take it another. Tordo is the man with the ball here. Galard, the man who tried to work it back. Now it's Galtier along the line there. A great chance here at Saint-André. Saint-André caught just short. A saving tackle there by Craig Chalmers. And the French pounding away here inside Scotland's 22. But what a crucial try that was. Or a try at the tackle. Look at that tackle by Craig Chalmers. That saved the try. Saint-André going for the gap. Gavin Hastings with the tap and the clearance. The Scots breathe again, but that's been a tough period, John.
Very much so. The weather's torn fairly well there, Bill. I think what they want to do now is wet conditions, is keep the ball behind France, because both teams are making mistakes, and it's the team that makes the least amount of mistakes that's going to gain from it. Scottish 22, Rob Wainwright, number 7 at the tail. Notice big 6'4" flanker, marked there by Caban. Through he goes. Amari once again doing the tidying up. The big prop forward from Lourdes. Craig Chalmers. And they're all really having such difficulty. Pick up by Ruma. Tordo is in there, number 6, trying to rip it clear. Galtier, Penaud. See once again trouble. That was the fullback, Sadurny. Lovely kick. Jean-Luc Sadurny, remember he came on to the field against England as a replacement, and within a few seconds had bashed into one of his own team and had to go off. His 4th international, and Scotland once again under intense pressure from that Sadurny kick. Ken Mill knew how important that throw was. Edwards did beautifully there. He moved backwards, gave himself space. It was a lovely bit of line-out expertise. And it gave him a clean catch. Scotland with the put-in. Neil Edwards having a very good match for the Scots. Once again, it's going down on this side. And Frank Burger, the South African referee, I think he's going to have to dish out a penalty somewhere, because it's falling in here too often. You see, Ken Milne is having difficulty. He's not striking the ball cleanly at all, and that's most unlike him. So clearly there's a lot of pressure coming from Galard. That was a better strike. Good clean channel as well. Craig Chalmers, left foot, hasn't found touch. Lafond waits. He's got Sadurny with him. Lafond with the left-footed Gary Owen. Gavin Hastings is there. Sadurny played it very fairly and very sensibly. Ducalo does the touchdown. The Scots had taken it over. Ivan Ducalo had to look sharp there.
former Royal High School, former pupil of there, and of course been with Celtic since '83. But this is a worrisome time for the Scots. They played 29 minutes, and it's 4 points to 3. France were going for the pushover shove. It's a drop goal by Pinot, and he's having an awful time with that ball. And your sympathy goes out to him, because he's a lovely footballer, but all the players are having trouble. And so, as John was saying just a wee while ago, it could be the side that makes the fewer of those errors who could win the match. Ball kicked straight out of the tunnel. Better strike, better channel. White giving Nicol room. Gavin Hastings, that was copybook stuff. But John, there's obviously some trouble for Scotland in that front row.
Yes, they're under a lot of pressure there, Bill. And I'm surprised they didn't go to carry on with the pushover try, especially when Derek White came off of the scrum. Because it's a no-win situation for a back row forward. You stay down and shove, or you get off and tackle the scrum half coming around the side. So, as I say, it's a no-win situation, but it was a great result for Scotland that they shoved them back, and then the standoff dropped the ball.
Scotland's 10 metres line. Rouma shoving Armory once again. He's the man who sweeps the line out. Gallard, the other prop forward, thumping on the 18-stoner. That's Paul Burnell through, but he may be penalised for offside. The referee is playing advantage, and the French have got one. Pinot, the stand-up half, caught by Ken Mill. No advantage to France, and it'll be a penalty. So Fabien Galtier, the scrum half there from the Colomiers club, the first internationalist out of that club. It's on the outskirts of Toulouse and one of the less fashionable sides. This is Louis Amari, who's been hurt. He's the big prop forward who's been brought back into the side. And there you see Jean-Francois Tordo. As I say, he's with a haircut, couldn't he? Probably a yard faster if he got a haircut. But we'll just... a lot of people booing down below because, of course, the French have occasionally, John, made what one would say a tactical replacement.
Yes, especially in this championship, they've done it once or twice, Bill. But I think they're possibly booing there because France are going to kick. They're used to France running everything. But France, like Scotland, have trouble handling the ball. You know, the French take a lot of pride in their handling, as do Scotland under Ian McGeechan. So they'll both be very disappointed about the number of mistakes they're making. But I think Paul Burnell will feel a bit unfortunate that penalty giveaway because the ball looked like it was out and he was coming through the middle. So I thought it was possibly a bit harsh.
It's given France this chance to go ahead. Jean-Baptiste Lafond with 93 points to his credit so far in his 30 internationals. He's on the wrong side for the left footer this time, but he'll be kicking into the wind, which will pull the ball back. It looks a bit wide of that left-hand post, and so he didn't get that right at all. And it stays at just the 1 point of difference. And they've about 7 minutes to go to half-time. Scotland 4, France 3. Not quite the amount of widespread of play that we'd expected, but that's really because of the conditions. Craig Chalmers. Pretty good. McIver got there first of all. Van Heerden couldn't hold it. The kick on by Andrew Nicol. Lafond is back there. And as I say, he's a beautiful footballer to watch, this fella. He looks so lackadaisical at times, almost as if he was sleepwalking. But he's got all the skills, wonderful vision, great instinct. Doddy Weir catches and goes and turns into Gallard. Loud blast going over, I think. Number 5, Rouma, was penalised on that occasion.
That line-out was very similar to the one that Scotland scored off against Ireland. And Doddy Weir went up and caught it. Both the French players thought he was going to tap it through, and Doddy caught it and ran through and got support from Neil Edwards. So hopefully we've got 3 points on a kick now as opposed to a try against Ireland.
Yes, it looked from that as well as if Rouma had pulled the thing down and in the same instant landed on the wrong side. So a fair enough penalty. And the chance for Gavin Hastings. He's done some great kicking against France. He started, as I said earlier, with 6 penalty goals in 86. And since then, he's played against them in all 6 times. And he's scored 63 points. It's a great strike rate by him. He's punished the French for their indiscretions. And the whole of Murrayfield, well, a good lot of it anyway, hopes he can do the same again. Gavin Hastings certainly got the distance just outside. It was well struck. It couldn't have been very far away. This is typically Lafond. Look at him. He's taken off. Got trouble there for Menel. And that's typically Lafond. Cordo trying to drive clear. And Galtier eventually gets the kick away. But wasn't that typically adventurous of Jean-Baptiste Lafond? And he's probably being told a few home truths by his captain, Philippe Sella. But it's very like him to do that kind of thing. When it comes off, it looks good. When it doesn't, you're a villain. French 22, Nicol, Chalmers, on the line to Lenin. This is Scott Hastings. Lovely bit of running there by the fullback, Sadourny. What a good effort by him. Tony Stanger got in the way. The referee waiting he's decided that it was a bit of obstruction. Sometimes when a winger turns, he's not sure of what happens behind him, but Tony Stanger definitely penalised there for that bit of obstruction. And we'll have a look, because Fred, this is what happened in the actual bit of action. Yes, Tony Stanger did run across him a bit, and so that was a fair decision. But down below us, Fred Howard has got his flag straight out, so he's seen something else. There's been a little bit of fisticuffs, I think. There was a bit of a battle, we think, between Mark Cessilong and Doddy Weir, and that's what Fred Howard has mentioned to Frick Burger. I don't think there'll be any sort of serious follow-up, but there is going to be a chat with the two of them. Yes, it is Cessilong and Weir who are being brought forward. Van Heerden, number 8 there, has nothing to do with it. He speaks good English, being a South African himself, so that's why he's brought forward. But those two have been told to stop the battling. And the penalty is going to the Frenchman. Of course, when you're 6'6.5", you really are a target, aren't you? And so Sadourny. Yes, good safe touch by him. Jean-Luc Sadourny, his 4th cap today. And he also plays for the Colomiers club on the outskirts of Toulouse, who have just had 2 international players in all their history, and they're both playing today. Galtier, Sadourny. Ken Milne's throw, great take by Derek White, but lost control of it. Galtier going, beautifully tackled by Nicol. This 20-year-old from Dundee High School, be the Scottish scrum half, he really does bullet into his tackles. And he makes them copybook tackles, absolutely by the legs. Going into the 5 metres area, Frick Burger says, so it'll be a free kick. Well, in fact, I think both must have transgressed, because you can see we're having the scrummage. Still just the 1 point in it, 2 minutes to go to half-time. And Ken Milnes had a lick on the wrist by the look of it. Ken Milne, who's over 16 stones this season and still pretty mobile with it, makes him a very formidable scrummager indeed. Nicol to Gavin Hastings. Sadourny, very high. Gavin Hastings. Now, this could be serious, because there was a bit of late obstruction. Rob Wainwright may have been ticked off there, and this is in kicking range, but yes, it's a double penalty. The French forwards think it's for offside, but in fact it's a double penalty, And if you just watch here, it was a bit late. This is Sadourny. There's the kick. There's the little trip. Might not have been intentional, I don't think. But they can take a penalty where the ball alighted, and that was away up inside Scotland's 22. Now, in fact, Jean-Baptiste Lafond has gone right outside the 22 to give himself a good angle at it. And so we're almost up to half-time here. Jean-Baptiste Lafond, in his 30th international, scored a drop goal in his first match against Australia. Here with a chance to put France into the lead. Coming round the corner to it, pulled it wide. It stays at 4 points to 3. They've played 40 minutes. Half-time is with us, and Scotland lead, having scored the one try, and a very good forwards try indeed by Neil Edwards. But the game very much in the balance, an awful lot of mistakes, and clearly, John, although the weather has improved a bit, it's still very difficult indeed for those players.
Very much so. I think the talk at half-time will be, they'll tell the boys, just keep the ball behind the French, let them make the mistakes. I think they'll put the high kicks in, they'll also roll it along the ground, keep the ball slippy, and put the pressure on the French, because I think Scotland will be delighted with the score at half-time, because they've not played exceedingly well.
Five Nations Rugby will continue.
In Japan, we believe in shaping things until they achieve their true perfection. So when we at National Panasonic designed one of the world's smartest copiers, we didn't stop at one that made copies that matched the original. We designed one that made copies that are sharper, cleaner, and clearer than the original.
Panasonic copiers.
Ah, that's better.
Another breakthrough in the quest for zero defect.
It's big. It's bigger. It's Heydays, the biggest sale South Africa has ever seen.
The biggest savings in the country happen right here. Watch tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. It's Knockout.
Gillette announces a razor that can sense the individual needs of your face.
Gillette, the best, yeah.
Introducing the extraordinary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Sensor's twin blades are mounted on responsive springs that continuously sense and adjust to your face for a closer, smoother, safer, unsurpassed shave. Gillette Sensor.
Gillette, the best, yeah.
To test the strength of our paint, we gave it a stretch in the desert.
En rechtstreeks uitsending van die wedstrijd tussen Suid-Afrika en Pakistan. Morgenoggend om 2:30 in die Benson & Hedges Wereldbeker Cricket op Mnet Supersport.
Five Nations Rugby continues.
Well, the Oranges break over at Murrayfield in that match. Just to tell you that there's no score between Southampton and Norwich in the first half. And a reminder that the Wales-England match will be bringing you highlights of that Five Nations game on Tuesday night at around about 10:15. The score at Murrayfield, though, 4 points to 3 in Scotland's favour. Let's rejoin our commentator, Bill McLaren.
Trying to scavenge on the ball, and you've got 3 or 4 yards to take it away straight away.
40 minutes or so to go then. And you can see the rain there as Her Royal Highness Princess Anne enjoys the comfort of the committee box there with the 2 presidents alongside her. And so we're all set to start the second half. I thought for a moment that the rain had cleared, but it's battering down again. Here Alain Penaud ready to start after the interval. Frickburger checks up in his stopwatch. Penaud gets it going in the second half. Well, there's how the territory went in the first half, but you notice in possession, you can see who did pretty well. Scotland probably would have wanted more than 4-3 for the possession that they've had. Did attempt to catch the ball there, but again, from slippery fingers. There's the French rolling maul, and the Scots obviously see them driving in from the side to try and stop it. Cessilon, and they're going again with this turtle shield, as they call it. Look how they all come round and pull it round, but the Scots driving to try and change the direction of it. Ken Milne in on the tackle, so is Dodiweir. Now it's Galtier. Penaud with a drop goal attempt. It's high enough, and it's just outside that post. Gavin Hastings back there, and he was all right. He didn't dig it over his own line, so it's a drop out to the Scots. Well, Alain Penaud there, who dropped the goal in his very first international against Wales this season. And Craig Chalmers coming well across to his right here to give himself plenty of room for the kick, rather than risk putting it out in the full. Cessilon couldn't hold it full. Derek White went down in it. Penalty though for offside. Yep. Derek White mentioning that in his view the ball was out. So Derek White, and this his last international at Murrayfield, his 40th international, but feels that he was badly done by there. So Jean-Baptiste Lafond, who I think is something like 1 success out of 3 licks, maybe 4, but this the chance to put France into the lead. He actually goes at right angles to the ball, a curious semicircle he takes. Let's see if it works for him. No, it's pulled it again. Pulled it well past his right hand upright. And so it stays at 4 points to 3 for Scotland. 2.5 minutes of the second half over. Craig Chalmers looking for space. Sadourny. Sadourny is quick. He's already scored a try against Scotland B at Hughenden a year ago. They know all about him. France B won that game 31-10. There's the turtle drive again. Torto with the ball, number 6 driving. Now it's out there nicely to Sadourny. Inside to Penaud. Great tackle by Wainwright. Galtier once again. There is a chance here. The pick-up by Genet, the hooker. Caught by Ken Milne inside Scotland's 22. Lovely ball again for the Frenchman. Rouma makes a drive. Tordo actually got in front of him. And those are anxious times for Scotland as the French forwards begin to rumble and roll. And that's the most dangerous tactic they have, isn't it, John?
Yes, when they get that French tortoise rolling, it's very, very hard to stop, because it's actually illegal to go and tackle the man coming forward with the ball, because you get penalised for bringing the ball down, bringing them all down. So it's a no-win situation again.
Van Heerden going for the pick-out. Galtier's kick. It's a very useful one. Fabien Galtier there of Colomiers has played in 9 of the last 11 internationals, and he's already had 3 different partners. Partners at standoff, that is. Ken Milne realising the importance of this throw. They're only, well, there's the Scottish goal line. Dodiweir giving himself room against Rouma. 2 lighthouses there. Weir did very well. Good drive by David Soule. He's Gallard, number 3, standing off. This is Chalmers. This left foot, he's sliced it. Lafond. Lafond changes pace. Galtier, real trouble there. Accidental offside against Gallard, but the referee is letting it go. Pinot caught there by Wainwright. Another good flanker's tackle by him. The drive on by Armory, almost up to Scotland's 22. Now it's Tordo driving, the other flank forward. Rouma has it now. The French forwards certainly beginning to put pressure on. And Scotland will have to really settle to this new type of attack up front. Pinot with a high kick. Gavin Hastings waits. He may have been obstructed, but Sean Lenine got his kick away. And Sean Lenine doesn't often kick much, and he chivied me once for suggesting that he couldn't do it. Not that I did, but he certainly got that one away well. Looks worried about it, though. Genet, the new French hooker, his first cap today. Although he played against Scotland B this season, and he had Armory as his prop forward on that occasion at the loose head, and he's got him today as well. Two control towers in the middle of the lineup, but it wasn't meant for them. Armory takes it. France really beginning to win some very good ball. Pinot, that's the dummy run. The fullback was in the line there as well. He's dropped back a bit now. Out there to Menel. Menel, who's very, very strong. Couldn't quite get it out. Gavin Hastings rescued it for the Scot. 10 metres short. France have been penalised. Going round on the wrong side. Marc Cessilon was penalised. But the French really are beginning to get their confidence here. They're settling to the feel of the thing. This is Menel brought back into the side, and you notice how very strong he is. Gavin Hastings hasn't found touch. Van Heerden catches on halfway. This is the big South African from Stellenbosch University. Now a French citizen. But France winning a very useful ball again. Gavin Hastings comes in. Tordo tackles him. And those two French flank forwards are destroyers, aren't they, John?
Yes, they're both very fast and very strong with it. And they're putting Scotland under a lot of pressure here. They withstood the pressure in the first half, and France have just carried on from there, keeping the pressure on Scotland. If Scotland can withhold that pressure and get back down to the other end of the park, they've got a slight advantage of the wind and the rain. If they can get the boot to the ball, keep it down in the park, then hopefully the pressure will tell on the French.
This is Andries van Heerden. As I was mentioning, he's a South African, but he's taken out French nationality, married a French lady, came from Stellenbosch University, a great nursery of South African rugby players. And of course he's given this French line out an awful lot of an extra dimension. He's 6 feet 5.5, over 16 stones, and he came to Tarbes and he played for them in the championship final of '87. So he settled in very well. There he is. Got a South African countryman as a referee as well. Yes, taken by Rouma. He made space for himself very well. Cessilon was in first too. This should be a very good ball for the Frenchmen to win. The backs, they've got Tordo out in the backs. The flank forward, Pinot along the line to Menel. This is Sella. Sella, see how quick he is. But a very good tackle. David McIver is just at the back there. And the tackle there was by Neil Edwards. Scots under real pressure. Armory, that's a little kick again by Galtier. Back goes Nicol. Nicol is there first. Nicol, who is desperately quick, and that pace was needed on that occasion, but he didn't panic. It was another lovely kick. You notice how Galtier uses the left foot so well, but Nicol is very sharp. French voice is raised here. They know that at the moment France are getting on top. Chalmers pretty high. Rouma, another great catch, unlucky to fall. Galtier got there by McIver. Lafond caught by Tucolo. Rather interesting, the two wings over there, Tucolo and Lafond. Each of them has scored 6 tries against Japan. Lafond in 2 international matches, 4 tries in one, 2 in another. Ivan Tucolo, 4 in an international, 2 in a district match. driving there by the Scots, and a chance here for Chalmers. But it's not his best kick. He's put a couple of those up which haven't gone just far enough forward. There's the kick on by Scott Hastings. Referee's whistle had gone for a knock forward. Big Scott Hastings there, who today is playing his 34th international along with his brother Gavin. They've both got 39 caps, and they're a world record for a centre partnership with Sean Lenine. Great pairing. Notice Sean Lenine always on the inside. The second 5'8", as the Australians and New Zealanders would call it. Van Heerden holds it in the scrummage. Van Heerden is still properly bound. Now he's got to watch here when he comes away. I think he may have decided that he couldn't have taken it back in, because that's not quite sure what that decision was for. But Heerden certainly had seemed to have broken his binding. But referees always have a bit of doubt as to about that, as to when the scrummage is over. Well, scrummages, Scotland awarded 10. They've won 9 of them to 7 by France. The healing hasn't been just perfect. There's a great run by Sadourny. Sadourny has a real chance. Out there to Lafond. Lafond tackled by Wainwright and by Ivan Tukolo at the corner. But that just gives you an indication of how dangerous they are. Sadourny, the fullback, came into the line. And look at the pace of the man. They said he scored a try against Scotland B. Lafond overhauled there by Tukolo. And great cover also by Wainwright. But they're as close as that to the Scottish goal line. Not straight, was it? Well, now, here again, as John was mentioning earlier, the great problem for the Scottish loose forwards is whether to stay down and prevent the opposing scrum driving you, or whether to break quickly and try and deal with any danger. Always a bit of a dilemma. Listen to the roars of French support round the ground. Scotland having great trouble getting out of their own 22 here. Galtier, Pinot. In there came Saint-André. Another lovely ball for Galtier. On to Cecilon. Superb tackle by Gavin Hastings. Galtier once again. Pinot. That's Lafond still. Ball went forward. Scotland will get the advantage. They'll have to scrummage for it, but at least they've soaked up another bit of pressure. But you feel, John, that this kind of pressure must tell in the end.
Well, that was a big mistake by Cecil that time, because he had a 4-2 overlap in this corner, and if he'd drawn the man and passed it instead of trying over the top of him, it would definitely try for the French.
Important scrummage for the Scots. Yes, Gavin Hastings did well. It was almost charged down by Tordo. But if you wanted a fellow to keep his head under that kind of pressure, A.G. Hastings is the one you would pick. Got his kick away from a very tight angle and got it almost up to the 22. Notice France again favouring the 5-man line, because it releases 2 forwards into their back division. It's Armory at the front. Galtier, Pinot, good tackle by Chalmers, drive on by Armory again. He's having a great game for France. Penalty against the Scots. Well, Louis Armory was the fellow who drove forward and forced the Scots to offend. He's having a very good match, the 28-year-old. If we see the drive here, it was Pinot, the standoff half initially, and then Armory came again, and it was at that point, as he went down, that the Scots, well, they certainly, one was on the wrong side anyway, and Neil Edwards may have gone over the wrong side as well. The upshot is that Jean-Baptiste Lafond has another chance to put France into the lead. It looks fairly straightforward. He would have preferred to have been on the other side of the field. And he hasn't gone so far round at right angles this time. coming a bit slightly straighter onto it. Lafond then, that looks better. He's got it bang on. His second penalty goal, France in the lead, and certainly on pressure that deserves to be. 2 points in the lead, 15 minutes of the second half gone. And Scotland will be glad with this kick-off to get themselves up into French territory. But look, the Frenchmen are thrilled. They had a tough time against England. And of course there's been a lot of political infighting as well behind the scenes of the French Rugby Federation. Many changes in their side, but they're pretty happy at the moment. Chalmers. Scott's going past the ball. We're up very quickly indeed. And Galtier. And there's a penalty going to come to Scotland, but he's playing advantage. This is Lenin trying to get inside to Wainwright. And a Frenchman went over and tried to play the ball with a hand in the ruck that developed. I think that's the indication given by the referee. And it's a penalty to Scotland. Well, they'll be breathing a sigh of relief out there, Scotland, because they have really been under pressure in this second half. Gavin Hastings calling for the sand. So he's done some great kicking for the Scots. He scored 10 tries as well. And he just needs one more for a Scottish record for a fullback of tries in an international. But concentrating at this moment with that huge East stand behind him on restoring Scotland's lead. Well, that's it. Good view from the south terracing. Just people up in the south terracing will get a perfect view of this one. Gavin Hastings then. The flags are up. He's done it again, the big fellow. Scotland back into the lead. 7 points to 6. 17 minutes of the second half gone. Flags waving here at Murrayfield, but the crowd knows very well that Scotland have still an awful lot to do if they want to come out on top in this match.
It's important now that Scotland will stand all the French pressure and don't make the same mistake as France did and give a penalty straight away and let them back into the game.
So many matches nowadays won by penalty goals. Alain Penaud. Effort by Paul Barnell there to take it for the Scots. Now it's Nicol. Chalmers. Chalmers caught by Caban. Caban so desperately quick. The dark destroyer he is. We'll maybe watch for number 7 in the French side, Laurent Caban, who is one of the fastest flank forwards. There he is, one of the fastest flank forwards. He's 14th international. He's a Duersole as well. But what a tackler. And with that tremendous pace of his. Now, that's just how tough it is in the front row, and also just how dangerous it can be. And as I say, Frick Burger will have to start thinking about penalising somebody, because it's gone down on that side just too often. French charging in, trying to gain an extra shove, not allowing the scrummage to be stationary. Penalty to Gavin Hastings. It's a fine kick. And so the Scots will be heartened now. They've got their noses in front. They're up into French territory. The question now of winning quality ball and, well, making the best of it that they can. This man will be in the line before long, if it comes along the line, that is. Now there's Caban, you see. Look at the lovely layback. Galtier. The switch to Penaud. Penaud was actually on his wrong foot there. Nicol covers. Andrew Nicol there, as I say, he'll be 21 on Thursday. What a season he's had so far. 30 tries for Scotland. He's the top scorer in British rugby at the moment. 16 of them in national leagues. Just inside Scottish territory. Genet using the tail, but Derek White got hands to it first. Tordo went through. Chalmers. Oh, that's a huge kick. Sadourny having to go back into his own in-goal area. And so there was some point in that great thump.
That kick was fine, Bill. It put all the pressure down back onto France again. People say it was a wayward kick, but it wasn't. It was taking the pressure off Scotland, and it's going to force France to make the next moves, make them play the game, and hopefully make the mistakes. So that's what Scotland will be doing. They'll be trying to contain France and keep them, if not in their own 22, certainly in their own half.
Pinot is a great one for those quick dropouts to the wrong side, but this time Gavin Hastings has got the chance as he bounced it into play. Oh, what a kick! He gave a little clap himself. He was so pleased. It was a super kick, and it's given Scotland a great position, but they've taken a quick throw in, the Frenchman, to Tordo, but it wasn't quick enough. The Scots were very alert to that. But the Frenchmen, of course, they're very impressive in upper body strength, and they've won another very good ball. So Tordo did the job that was wanted of him there, and Sadourny cleared it.
A little kick like that can make a big difference to the Scots. You know, they'll get a great boost from that. Their hearts get lifted. They'll get the confidence, and you'll see them going again all out attack now, not just to contain them, to actually get points on the board now.
7-6. 20 minutes of the second half over. Kicking again at the front. May not have gone the 5. Yes, I think not the 5 metres. Another very good effort indeed by Neil Edwards at the front of the line out. It's the big Harlequin who's played some very good open rugby with Harlequins and with the London division. Played in the London division side who beat the Wallabies who in '88. Good shot by the Scots. But Galtier got it back. And Sadourny did the rest with that left foot. So Jean-Luc Sadourny in his first international as an original choice, feeling the pressure too. His 4th cap altogether. Scotland need one good catch here and a drive, and well, a loud blast to France for a bit of pushing. But, there are all kinds of things going on in the lineouts nowadays. And there's the man, Jean-Francois Tordo. Very powerful fellow, and as he's kept his fuse pretty long today, which has helped France a lot. And so France almost up to halfway. Into the last quarter of the match. That's Marc Cessilon, strong man from Bourgoin. Milne with the throw, Doddy Weir. Drive here by Nicol. Scotland haven't a scrum half at the moment, and France have won a good ball. And Scotland penalised for going round on the wrong side. But it shows you how adept the Frenchmen are. I was saying about their upper body strength. They do tear ball away in the tackle, and they've done it several times today. Sadourny pushing the Frenchman up into Scottish territory. So this Royal Bank International, very tightly contested. No great spectacle in the match. Not an awful lot of line handling, but it's still 1 point to Scotland in the lead. Taken by Menel. He got away from McIver. Menel still. Menel, great tackle by Derek White. A superb tackle by the number 8. And Caban lost possession of it as he was driving forward. But Frank Menel of the Racing Club in his 47th international was dropped for this match, but look at him go here and watch this tackle. Derek White, that was a try-saver.
Scotland would be furious at losing that, Bill. You know, it was their own 2-man line out, their call. The ball went astray over the tail. Menel made a cracking break through the middle, and it was an excellent tackle. You look to come in here, the speed of Derek White getting across here, all his fitness training has come to bear. It's an absolute cracking tackle here. And definitely a try-saving tackle because Menel was in.
The Scots under pressure though. back to Gavin Hastings. And that on his left foot up to almost the 22. The Scots lucky to have a big, powerful fullback like him who keeps very cool in the crisis and, of course, has the skill levels to go along with it. Ruma is up at the front, and Van Heerden, it was meant for Ruma. Taken by Genet the hooker, and there again, look, the strength in winning the ball. Galtier, Pinot, that's a poor kick, it's going backwards almost. The knock back to Gavin Hastings. Too far, he was just outside the 22, very unlucky in the tackle by Sella. And Gavin Hastings has been hurt in the tackle. And this is a problem for the Scots because they don't actually have a full-back replacement as such, Peter Dodd's being injured. And so there'll be some anxious looks in the Scottish camp. Gavin Hastings so important to the Scottish effort. But clearly this, John, is a crucial area of the game, isn't it?
Very much so. It just, Gavin's unfortunate, his kick went straight out there. And he got taken out there by the number 5, so it wasn't quite picked up by the touchers, I don't think.
Yes, Ruma certainly seemed to put a shoulder on the Scottish fullback. But good is okay. It's the Scottish 22. Neil Edwards bouncing about there, but Ruma winning some good ball. Pinot knocked it on and took it again. Good tackle by Wainwright. On to Tordo. Tordo held by David Soul. Yes, France going forward. They get the put in. They're just outside Scotland's 22. David Soul there in his last international at Murrayfield. Scotland's captain for a record 22nd time. His 41st cap. One of the 3 Edinburgh Academicals forwards in the pack. That's Van Heerden, caught there by David McIver. And a loud blast, not releasing. But what a good effort by David McIver. He just had a hold of the bottom of his jersey, but he's such a powerful laddie, McIver, that he managed it. Gavin Hastings with a massive punt up into the French 22. Back was Jean-Baptiste Lafond. And up there went Tucolo. That was good pressure from Tucolo. No touch. Gavin Hastings inside his own 22. Hastings the high one. He's put everybody onside. No problem there. There's no need for anybody to get excited. They went in on the tackle. It wasn't late in my view. He'd made the mark and he gets the free kick. But Gavin Hastings transfer play from deep in his own half into the French 22. Lafond clears.
Scotland will now try and settle the pace a wee bit. They're up into the French half again. They'll try and take control of the game and keep possession. The mistake they made the last time was they lost about 80 yards, so twice lost possession, which is criminal, especially under their training.
French 10-metre line. Neil Edwards again, outplaying his man at the front. Nicol, his kick charged down, taken by David Soul. Soul charges. Helped by McIver and Wainwright. They were in first on him. Nicol burrows again. Chalmers. Craig Chalmers was very quick with the kick. It wasn't his best one. Up went Lenin. Tucolo is there, the French 22. Good pick up by Weir. On there to Nicol. Out to Lenin. And Lenin tackled by Galtier. Scotland being pressurised and, of course, having to do things so quickly. But they're beginning to take a bit of a grip on the proceedings. Still leading 7 points to 6. And they've played almost 29 minutes of the second half. There's the line out, 17-1 each, but look at the clean wins to Scotland. Again, Van Heerden getting through the line out. Loud blast, may have been for being offside. And the French will take their time about this. Galtier was, well, he's thinking about a tap one, but Lafond, who's 30 years old, said, hey, let's get it upfield. So those last 10 minutes are going to be absolutely vital. Those two countries with the same record in the championship, played 2, won 1, lost 1. They could still share the championship. They could be runners-up. Derek White wins it, taken by Soul, caught there by Caban. Lovely ball to Nicol, to Chalmers. Chalmers, high again. And there comes Sadourny, he's outside the 22, he can't make the mark. Tuchelo in on the tackle, a great Scottish drive there, deep into the French 22. David McIver trying to wrestle the ball clear. And the loud blast, the ref has been pretty quick, and certainly French discipline has been a lot better today, John.
Yes, they had that in mind when they came across here, Bill. You know, they were under pressure after the debacle at Parc de France two weeks ago. So that was in mind as well. It's a great position for Scotland here. Back to old tactics, high ball, and put pressure on them.
Pick up by Derek White. White half caught by Tordo. Pick up by Nicol. Nicol to Chalmers. Chalmers switching to the narrow side. Chalmers still. Chalmers dummying. Inside there to Ken Milne. Ken Milne, 2-3 metres short. Great work here by the Scot. Nicol out there to Gavin Hastings. He charges on. They're still 5-6 metres from the French line. Nicol trying to work the blind side. Out to Chalmers. Chalmers still. Blue jerseys everywhere. No way through. Once again Nicol going. And very good defence by the Frenchman, but it's a penalty to the Scots for being offside at the breakdown point. And this is a crucial moment for Scotland. Gavin Hastings hints at taking a tapped one, but he's calmed down. So have I, for that matter. So a real crucial moment here for Scotland. Some wonderful bits of rugby. Ken Milne getting within 5 metres, falling and laying the ball back so well. And then here, Nicol feeding out. Gavin Hastings having a thump. Tordo with the tackle. He has played well, the big fellow with the hair, I must say. But again, Scotland in a great attacking position. And so this is the moment when you have sympathy for goal kickers, because so much pressure on them. And Gavin Hastings, of course, has been through all this before many, many times. But it's so important. Now listen to the roar if he slots this one. This to stretch the lead. Well, I needn't tell you, his second penalty goal for Gavin Hastings. 381 points in 39 internationals. Scotland leading 10-6. The crowd are delighted, and we have about 8 minutes of the match left. The saviour of Scotland again, 2 penalty goals from 4 shots. And of course it places again all the pressure on the Frenchman to at least score a try. Youngsters in the schoolboys enclosure enjoying themselves hugely. Pinot. Nicol. Chalmers. The pressure is so intense on him. That kick up to Sadourny. Sadourny returns the compliment with a huge lick up to Gavin Hastings. And there's a Hastings special. Up to Jean-Baptiste Lafond. He's come outside the 22. Of course, the crowd love a player like this. David Soul almost got him. Doddy Weir has got him. And that's a superb tackle by the big lock forward. But make no mistake, although it didn't come off again, this really does bring the crowd to its feet. They just love this adventurism. And again, although it didn't come off, what a joy to see a fella having a go like that. Lovely Weir tackle. Milne's throw, Weir beaten to it. Genet the hooker, but thrown down by David Soul. There was a very dangerous boot there on the back of David Soul's neck as he went in. And Pinot clears up to halfway.
Scotland will want to keep the pressure on France now. They're typical. That's typical of Lafond doing his. They'll put the pressure on them and they'll try stupid things like running out of their own 22 and getting caught by Doddy there. And it could lead to a Scottish try.
Halfway, Rob Wainwright at the back there, along with Caban. Wainwright's done some very good tackling, but it's out there a long line to Pinot. This is Menel. Menel, good tackle there by Lenin. Good ball for France, though, on halfway. Galtier, Sadorny, the fullback, is in the line. Lovely little chip kick by him. Chalmers got hands to it first. Soule was back to save for Scotland, but the French again driving and hoping to get the put in. So it was a lovely little chip kick by the fullback, and Craig Chalmers did well to reach up and flick it sideways to enable David Soule to kill it. But it's still the advantage to the Frenchman with the put into the scrummage. That's Scotland's 22. Craig Chalmers saves Scotland there. Hasn't had the best day with his Gary Owen kicking, but still a great defensive standoff. Now the French, of course, have been very keen to get the first nudge on in the scrummage, and they've been penalised for it once. The crafty little tactic so that they go into the scrummage going forward. Big Van Heerden was even trying to pull the French scrum back into position. Galtier, Pinot missed out everybody to Menel. Along the line to Lafond. That's the kick through again by Sadorny. What a run there by Tucolo. And Tucolo got right across from the left wing. Right across from his left wing. Excellent bit of covering by Ivan Tucolo. That was the saviour there, because it was an awkward little kick. Lafond working it out to the fullback Sadorny. Now watch here, Saint-André, there was no deliberate there, but look at Tucolo, first man there. Chalmers making sure none of his forwards get offside. Notice how he's given himself room so as not to put the ball straight direct into touch. Scotland scrummage for the knock forward. There's just 3 minutes of the match to go. 10 points to 6. Scotland leading France. A win for Scotland would level them at 30 wins each in the series of 63 games. And of course, France haven't won at Murrayfield since 1978. Now, Tordo, the flank forward on this side, this stocky little torpedo, number 6. Just watch him here if the scrum wheels. He's got to stay there until the ball is clear. Gavin Hastings. And another 15-20 metres upfield. How well he served Scotland today in his 39th international match. Within 5 of the 6 games in the World Cup. Scotland's 10 metres line. Oh, Derek White did well. Weir, Craig Chalmers again. That's very high, maybe a bit too far forward. Tired legs following up now. This is Lafond again. He's at it again. Well, he picked a very good spot for the kick. Jean-Baptiste Lafond, the Corinthian. Time somebody came and gave me a hand, he's saying. There you are, equal top try scorer in the World Cup. He scored 13 tries altogether for France. And 96 points. Neil Edwards of Harlequins. Weir again. Bit of elbowing, but the referee was a bit quick there because Doddy Weir was clean through the line out and was actually on his way towards the French 22.
I don't think Scotland will complain about that penalty bill going too quick, because it gives them a chance to waste a minute or so and Gavin to have a long shot at goal. Unfortunately, the wind has dropped down in the second half, as has the rain, so Scotland haven't had the advantage that France had in the second half. But, as I say, the wind's dropped, so this is certainly within Gavin's range if he hits it correct.
Well, Gavin Hastings here has got the southwesterly blowing from right to left as he looks at the posts, and it'll be slightly against. But, of course, he's kicked them from this distance before. Remember, one kick in the World Cup from deep inside his own half, which travelled, I think, about 60 metres. Trouble here is when you're going for a big one, that non-kicking foot, important that it stays still as you swing. Gavin Hastings then. Giving it a pretty good whack. Oh, off the upright. Tordo. A lovely kick there, but Scotland have a fairly good position as the Frenchman nonetheless. Through Sella to Menel, along the line to Lafont, Lafont to Saint-André. Saint-André stopped by Derek White. Typical bit of French driving there and running from out of their own 22 area. Dutch judge's flag was up. Galtier was a bit annoyed. He thought it was an offence whistle, but and would like to have carried on, but it was the Dutch judge's flag. But that little bit of running was typical of the French. You can never tie them down, and you can never take anything for granted with them. They'll attack you from anywhere. Milne's throw, down to Derek White. Derek White. Andrew Nicol there playing like a forward. The Scots penalised for running into their own forward. Penaud, Sella has Tordo, that's the flank forward, but he's well caught there by Ken Milne and by Rob Wainwright. The Scots have got renewed zest from that second penalty goal got by Gavin Hastings. Galtier with that awkward little left footer across the breaking forwards again. And Scotland in trouble as Saint-André got in there for it. Knocked forward Scotland scrummage. I make it that we've played 41 and a bit minutes of the second half. Scotland still with that 4 points. There's been an odd little injury, but nothing much. So maybe the next time the ball goes dead, it might be over. Nicol. Gavin Hastings again on his left foot. And people thought it was a poor kick, but he meant to kick it like that to get it into touch. The whistle goes for the end of the match. And Scotland have won, and there are the two prop forwards who were battling away, and Gallard there commiserating with Soul and vice versa. A lovely touch there from two front row forwards who battered against each other throughout this match, and they're friends, and at the dinner afterwards they'll be friends as well. And they're a lovely tribute to two of Scotland's great forwards, David Soul and Derek White. There's Derek White in his last international at Murrayfield. Little pat there from Paul Burnell, and I can just imagine the ovation they'll get as they leave the field. Two great Scottish forward stalwarts. French very disappointed indeed, as you'd imagine, because they haven't won at Murrayfield since 1978. There are the two captains, David Soul and Philippe Sella. And they know they've been in a battle. It was no great spectacular game, but it was tough and it was hard. And over the piece it was very well refereed by Frankryk. Armory there, who had a splendid match with the Frenchman. And there's the big lad from South Africa, Van Heerden, the number 8 forward. Neil Edwards, number 4.
All the action of Five Nations Rugby on Mnet Supersport, your channel of...